As technology moves at the speed of light, the downsizing of companies in relation to AI and computers is occurring. I am Friendship Pearson and welcome to Friendship Blue. 600,000 jobs will be on the line when it comes down to Amazon. Have you guys heard? Yeah, that's what's going on. They said the information leaked out. I don't think it's a leak. I think it's a warning. It is the 23rd of October, Thursday. Happy Thursday. Let's say it together. Praise God from whom all blessings flow. Mankind is supposed to work by the sweat of their brow. Many find purpose in working. Many have found their God-given talent, and they have blessed those in their community, nationally and internationally. But sorrowfully, this joy of labor and blossoming gifts, the sun shining from the intent to bless your fellow man, is gradually being replaced by something that doesn't have a heart, doesn't have a mind like God, yet it plays the role of God because it has been built arguably by man. Yet I get the impression this is not the first time that the world has seen this. As I look into the archives of history, I do believe we've had this type of scientific breakthrough before, and that the powers don't want us to know. And what is it that they don't want us to know? That is possibly it's just not human beings making these light-changing discoveries, that this is in conjunction with the fallen angels. It's deep, y'all. I said it's deep. Welcome to the thought train of the last days.
Amazon believes that robots like these are the future. At this facility outside Boston, we saw how they can lift, scan, and place products, the kind of work Aaron Martin used to do.
It'll suction onto the box to pick it up, and then it'll place it in the tote where it needs to go.
Is this robot doing work that humans used to do?
Similar, yes. It's just this could run 24/7.
4 years ago, he was stocking bins in an Amazon warehouse.
I used to just stow product in aisles of bins.
Now machines can do that work faster and with fewer injuries. We asked Amazon HR Vice President Ofori Agboka what that means for workers.
When people ask you yes or no, will the workforce at Amazon shrink as a result of automation, robots, AI, what do you say?
Our populations and sizes where people sit in the footprint is going to vary as we grow.
So it'll change?
It'll vary as we grow.
In June, Amazon...
It will vary as we grow. Yeah. Nice political response, right?
CEO Andy Jassy announced plans to, quote, reduce our total workforce as we get efficiency gains using AI. And a New York Times report citing internal documents says Amazon's robotics team has a goal to automate 75% of its operations, translating to 600,000 people whom Amazon didn't need to hire by 2033. Amazon says the documents in the Times report are incomplete and reflect the perspective of just one team and don't represent our overall hiring strategy.
Do you really think they're going to tell you, especially now, months before the Christmas rush, so you can hire someone else to try to deliver your package? Do you really think they're going to tell you what's really going on? Come on, Marvin Gaye, sing that song. They're not going to tell you. And again, it's not a leak. It's deliberate. Why would they tell us now? Through a leak. Well, that way you can cushion the blow. That when it comes out, I guess maybe late January, early February, after they make their, who knows, millions of dollars. And you got to remember, they got shareholders, baby. They got shareholders, baby. You got to keep this lip sealed. Don't nobody want to lose their stock. Come on, baby, not now. Wow.
Amazon is replacing 600,000 jobs with robots, and this one move just exposed how the world's biggest companies plan to grow. Leaked internal documents show Amazon plans to automate up to 75% of its operations by 2033, avoiding roughly 600,000 future hires while doubling output. But Amazon is not the only one doing it. OpenAI recently brought on more than 100 former JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs analysts, not to grow its workforce, but to train AI models designed to handle entry-level banking work, revealing that it's not only warehouse workers being replaced, but also entry-level white-collar jobs. We are entering a time when companies will look completely different. Headcount will no longer track success. Productivity per employee will. The real change will come from new companies that build with AI from the start, not add it later. Amazon is showing what that future looks like today, and every leader now has to choose whether to fight that change or learn how to build with it.
You know, when I first started business, I just told myself, you know what? I got to figure out where I fit. And I'm sure you were the same way. And I had the Les Brown hunger in me. I've told the story before. And after working as a labor person and as an assistant manager and realized I can make bonus check because I was doing all the work as an assistant manager at KFC, I'm like, you know what? If I'm doing all the work, working all the long hours on Friday, Saturday, then coming back for the church rush Sunday, I might as well get the bonus check. So I studied all that I could, and I finally became a store manager and was quite good at it. But people always knew, the majority of people that I met, whether it was in the chicken business or whatever, everybody don't want management. Everybody ain't a tech person. And everybody don't want to lead. Which means you do jobs like deliver pizzas, work at Amazon, right? You're just good with your hands. You might just want to fix cars. You might want to just mop floors and be a janitor. But whatever you do, you just want to find dignity in it. And you want people to respect that you did a hard day's work. And now in this generation, we're looking at some wiring and some technology and we're like, wow, I'm being threatened on a manual level, on a manual labor level, right? Think about it. Your job is being threatened on a manual labor level. Who would have thought about that? The tech people. I'm telling y'all people, this is fallen angels. They don't like human beings. And they have made a pact with secret societies and our government, as far as I'm concerned, and the governments around the world. And they are investing in it. Trump has had 2 major meetings in tech. You think they're going to tell you everything? You think they're going to tell you everything? Nah, baby. They want to make it so bad that she's going to be just like old boy said. What did he say? You're going to have everything and be happy? Yeah, you won't own anything and be happy. That's what this looks like. You won't own nothing, but you're going to be happy. Hell, because you won't be able to afford it. And the community that you live in won't be enough people working to pay for streets and sanitation or police or anything. Because it won't be enough revenue coming in. Think 10, 20, 30 years from now how it's going to be. You think these big companies going to pay their fair share of taxes to make up the difference? When I was a little boy and I studied at the library long before I got in high school, I learned about how the government would step in and not let them get too big. I learned about, what's the word? With the oil barons back in the 30s. What's the word? Kind of fazed me this time of night. Monopolies. The government used to step in on monopolies. Arguably, isn't that what this is, a monopoly? It is a monopoly. Because now it's dangerous. How you gonna fight back? Well, I'm gonna show you how people are fighting back. Just hold tight. Let's go through a few more videos.
From everything you know, everything you understand, is generative AI potentially an existential threat to the human species?
I think that's what I've been saying, yes. It really is an existential threat. Some people say this is just science fiction, and until fairly recently I believed it was a long way off. I always thought it would be a very long-term threat, but I thought it would be 100 years when we had really smart things. 50 years maybe. We had plenty of time to think about it. Now I think it's quite likely that sometime in the next 20 years, these things will get smarter than us. And we really need to worry about what happens then.
It's called gradualism. Ever since I did the research decades ago, and people on their dying bed was talking about it, and military people who I had met over the years in barbershops wanted to keep everything a secret, they told me about this secret meeting with so-called UFOs, fallen angels in our government and governments around the world. That's right, you can have a stake in this domain and you share with me your technology. Both can grow together. That's what I was told. Put in the comment section if you heard the same thing. Yeah, I ran into people just like that. That's why my mind is not the same. Then I listen to those shows like Coast to Coast with George Norrie and Art Bell. George Norrie and Art Bell. You listen to those people back in the 70s and 80s, Art Bell, George Norrie, Coast to Coast. The show is Coast to Coast. I'm sure it's still on somewhere. You can learn a whole lot about what they're not going to tell you because they don't want you to keep up with the information so you don't know what's coming. You understand what I'm saying? So this guy, he thought another 100 years? No. From the research I did, they're always 25 to 50 years ahead of us anyway. They've been had the cell phone. I digress.
The estimates automation could help it save more than $12 billion and shave about 30 cents off each item it ships. In a statement, Amazon said the leaked documents reflect the perspective of just one team and don't represent our overall hiring strategy, adding that the company is actively hiring and plans to fill 250,000 positions for the holiday season.
One of the things that we've been proud of over our 10-year history is the ability to develop robots that work well alongside people.
It comes amid growing fears of technology replacing human workers. The so-called godfather of artificial intelligence has been sounding the alarm.
If I worked in a call center, I'd be terrified. If I was someone like a legal assistant, a paralegal, they're not going to be needed for very long. For mundane intellectual labor, AI is just going to replace everybody.
For Amazon.
Ain't that crazy? Ain't that crazy? Enter in what I told you guys about Trump 9 months ago. The day after he was inaugurated, this is what he presented us. And this is what's staring us in the face right now.
As president, we're back. And we had a great first term, but we're going to have an even better second term. And I think we're going to do things that people would be shocked at. We're starting off with tremendous investment coming into our country at levels that nobody's really ever seen before. And they're very happy with the fact that I won the race and that they feel confident in their investments. And it's big money and high quality people. So my first day back from having a nice life, it's my honor to welcome 3 of the world's leading technology CEOs. And in the case of Larry Ellison, it's well beyond technology, just sort of CEO of everything. He's an amazing man, an amazing business person.
Looking for an easier way to get that.
And he brought them all in. And we thinking, wow.
I read Sam Altman, so that's great that you're coming in together. That's a massive group of talent and money. Together, these world-leading technology giants are announcing the formation of Stargate. So put that name down in your books, because I think...
And I did a video on that, Stargate. It's a portal, people, as far as I'm concerned. It's a portal. It's a portal, people. Don't be fooled, it's a portal.
Wow.
I broke it down. I'll put this in the description so you guys can check it out. This is a portal. This is ancient Egypt. These are portals, people. These are portals. I don't see it on this one here, but I definitely got it. I got it set up where I break it down. It's a beautiful discovery in terms of where we're going to be going. We're going to go into the hands of 666 and the mark of the beast, in part through this system. At the same time, they're veeing out, they're getting rid of people who want to work. That's what they're doing. And they're just not telling you. See this here? Is this $500 billion investment called Stargate in the Egyptian portal? This is the video you gotta watch. Is this $500 billion investment called Stargate in the Egyptian portal? This video is deep.
Stargate?
Stargate, baby. Stargate. That's what this is all about, in my humble opinion. Stargate. This is their plan. Now, I'll put that video in there so you guys can check it out, okay? It's a 44-minute video. And I want to touch on this. U.S. farmers react to Trump's policies on tariffs, immigration, and foreign aid cuts. I'm sure a lot of you guys who are retired or work at night or on the phone trying to take care of your business, you're getting more foreigners taking care of your business now instead of Americans. That old excuse about saving money by hiring a foreigner, I think it's an outright lie in our generation. I think it's a way to kill off American jobs. Do you understand what I'm saying? Build up their infrastructure so they can blend with the one world system and have us blend with the one world system by having us depressed. Do you understand? So I don't believe in this thing about, oh, well, we got all these foreigners working these call centers and whatnot because it saves money. I believe they're under this umbrella of a fog telling us a lie. Also, cheaper labor. That's what it's about, cheaper labor. I believe all that's a lie now. And what I want to bring up is this: the tariffs are starting to already show and hurting our economy. Plus, Trump is not helping the farmers. He neglecting them, in my humble opinion, just like Joe Biden. And if he is helping them, it's not enough. It's not keeping pace with it, which means our product, our food is going to go up. Well, at the same time, you got what's his name? Bill Gates buying farms. You guys probably heard about it. Now, check this out. There is something you can do. Thousands signed petition calling for a ban on AI superintelligence. Here we go.
28,000 people have now signed an online petition calling for a ban on the development of AI superintelligence. As we've been reporting, the list includes hundreds of public figures: Prince Harry and Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, Virgin Group founder Sir Richard Branson, actor Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and conservatives Glenn Beck and Steve Bannon have all signed. Several prominent AI pioneers have also joined the call, and the petition says the prospect of superintelligence raises concerns over, quote, losses of freedom, civil liberties, dignity, and control, to national security risks, and even potential human extinction. Anthony Aguirre is one of the organizers of this petition. He's the executive director and secretary of the board at the nonprofit Future of Life Institute and professor at the University of California, Santa Cruz. Anthony, thanks for being here. So this petition, it says that technology will be able to significantly outperform humans on essentially all cognitive tasks. You ring the alarm bell not just on the economic consequence, but also, as I mentioned, possible extinction. How so?
Well, if we have AI that is smarter than the top human experts, and we may have that soon, we have currently AI that is smarter than everyone in some things, and it's catching up in other things like math and physics and programming. Not the best, but better than most people, and improving really fast. So if we have something that's better across the board and could act on its own and pursue complex goals better than the most effective people, faster and cheaper, so what does that mean? Well, we're already seeing AI replacing people in various roles: creators, therapists, companions, teachers, and so on. And companies are working really hard to build AI that can do the full range of things humans can, because they want to slot AI systems in for human workers. There's enormous money in that, for the companies.
And again, I believe it's part of the fallen angel plan, working with men and women on this planet who have made a pact with them against us. And as you can see, the trend is AI technology, all computer, and less investment in us. That's how I feel. Nobody's going to change my mind. I know more than I can say here. But trust me, that is the goal. It's more than just advancement. It is the hatred for that which is in God's image, and that is us. And they want to create their own human beings and their own technology, and they want to make us slaves. It's the new paradigm, if you will, of Moses telling Pharaoh, let my people go. God bless. We'll talk tomorrow.